Okay, so this is the dashboard in the Cloud9 account. And in this example, I'm going to create a new workspace. So I just click on create new workspace. Okay, and I'm going to give it a project name. So this is just me doing a wee class demo. So I'm just going to say class dash demo. I'm going to leave it as a public workspace. And you can make a wee description of what it is. So I'm just going to say how to use Python and Cloud9. It's always good to give a decent description of what you're doing. Okay. Now you then got options here down at the bottom, and it's choosing a template. I'm just going to choose Python as my template. Okay. And create my workspace. If you want, I'm just doing this to show everyone how it works. You don't need to do this, all right? But just as long as you understand it, that's all I'm looking for. So it'll take a wee second for the container to kick in. Okay, so what happens here is you'll see that on the left hand side I've got my folders and my files. So on the left hand side I've got my folders and my files, alright, which will come into it. And then here this is just your default file. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to File, New from Template, and I'm just going to choose Python file. And I'm going to type in print hello world. Okay, and I'm just going to save this as hello.py. It's got to be .py for Python. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is click on the Run button, and you'll see down at the bottom of the screen, Hello World appears. So that's it running. All right. So if I want to make another program, I can just close that one and go to New from Template again and choose Python. And in this case, I'm just going to put in x equals 3 or 2, whatever, print x. And save as show number .py. And if I click on run, it prints out 2. Alright, just dead simple programs, right? So hopefully you guys understand that this is exactly the same as using the other repository that we used, okay? The reason we're using this is because it lets you work with other files in it, okay? So I've already done this demo for you, but it was way before the holidays, so I'm just going to do it again briefly. And it's how you write into an external file. Okay, so again, I'm going to make a new file, new from template, and choose Python. Okay, and I'm going to say, just go to file, save as. I'll save this first. Let's call it write.py. Okay, it's important you always put py on the end. Let's close the other file. So I've got this one opened. All right. Now, as I say, I've already used this example, but what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put a wee comment and say create and open a file. All right. So we're going to set a variable f, and we're going to make f open what we call a text file. Oh, okay, we've got my file.txt. Now we want to make this file writable, so we put a W in. All right. So next thing I'm going to do here, I'll come back and look at the wee error in a second. Oh, I know what the wee error is. Sorry, I got to practice. I've got to put it in the code. Okay. So that means that f is equal to this file. All right. So then, if I want to write the data into the file, all I say is f.write. What will I put in it? Nah, we'll put in Justine. All right. Okay. And f dot right is paying attention. Okay. What I'll do is I'll put a wee space there. Alright. Now that's me finished with it, so I want to close the file. So I just say f dot close. Okay. So I'm going to save that and I'm going to run it. Okay. Now nothing seems to happen down here, right? But if you look over here, you'll see my file.txt has appeared. Right? If I double click on that, it says Justine is paying attention. Right? So it's taking those commands and written them into the text file. Okay? So that's how you write information into a file. Now, I'm trying to think in the example, it's only the one you have to do, isn't it? Like you have to read it, yeah, that's fine. But also you have to, do you have to overwrite stuff as well? I can't remember. Right, I think you do it. Yeah, you have to be able to overwrite it with blank. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new file. Okay, new from template, Python file. And what I'm going to do is I want to change this file, alright? And I'm going to change it to Samir is paying attention, alright? So what I'll then do again, it's f equals open, and it will be my file.txt. Now in this case, I'm not looking to write it, I'm looking to what? Overwrite it. Another word for overwrite is amend. So I'll put an A in there. And that lets it know that I want to change what's in the file. Okay, so let's see what happens if I do this. And I'll say f.write Samir is paying attention. Alright. F.close. What do you think is going to happen in this one? Right, give you two options, three options. One, nothing's going to happen. Right. Two, it's going to overwrite Justine is paying attention. Or three, it's just going to add in Samir is paying attention. So they'll both be there. Well, overwrite means that you go back over the top of something. So what do you think? Is it going to do nothing? Is it going to overwrite it? Or is it going to add it in? Who goes for add it in? Hands up. Two. Who goes for... Right, a few diver in. Who goes for amend? Who goes for nothing because my coding's rubbish? Well, listen, we'll see. Right, so I'm going to save that as amend, right? .py. Okay, and then I'm going to run it. And again, it looks like nothing's happened, but the only way I can see if something's happened is by opening my text file. And you'll see now it's added that in. Okay, so that's amended it to add it in. So how do I overwrite it? Or how do I replace it? Yeah, but we want to be able to manipulate the file without ever actually deleting anything or touching it. Right, I'll make another file. And I'll call this one overwrite.py. Okay, so again it's the same thing. I want to open the file. So open my file.txt. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a W in to write, and then I'm just going to say f.write. Oops. And I'm just going to put a blank in, and then f.close. Right, so what's going to happen here? Is this going to do nothing? Is it going to, it'll either do nothing or it will delete the contents of my file. What do we think? Right, let's try it and see. So again, it's overwrite. I want to run it, and again, it looks like it's done nothing. And the only way you can check it is overwriting the file, and it's overwritten it. Okay. So it's taken all that and just blanked it out. So that wee bit of code is very useful if you want to delete the contents of the file. Okay, which you do want to do at one point in this. Okay, the last thing I'm going to show you is how you read information in from the file. So for that, I'm going to get no, not that one. What was the file again? Right. So I'm going to run this one again. Okay. Justine is paying attention. And if I run that one again, then what you'll see is that's what that file contains now. Okay. I'll put that back in. All right. Now what I want to do in this example is to read from the file. So new from file Python, and again I'm going to say f equals, what did I put in here? Good. What was it called? myfile.txt. Okay, now we don't need to write in this one. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to take a wee shot at this and try it without it. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and read from the file. Alright. So what do you think? Because I want to take that, Justine is paying attention, take it out of the file and display it in down here. What do you think? Any ideas? There we go. Alright, so I want to amend this a wee bit. It's not quite the same as what we were doing before. I'm going to set this up slightly differently. I'm going to put in a variable called file name. Oops. Okay. And file name equals, let's see. I'll say my file.txt. Okay. And what I'm then going to do is say, I'm going to open the file, but I'm going to say with open my file. I could just be able to put in file name. With open file name as f. Okay, and what that does, it puts into a variable, and I'll say content f.read lines. So these are functions that exist in Python, and that reads the content. Sorry, I've got too many brackets there. Content equals f.read lines, and then down there I'll say print content. I'll save that as read.py. I'll run it, and there it is. Justine is paying attention. Now that's all the functions that you need to perform in this wee project. Alright, but what you're going to do is build these into one file into a menu system. Does that make sense? Okay, and I'll just stop that there.